G'day folks, here's my response to Metal Tag 2025. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. This is the first video of 2025 and might as well do a fun one. This is Metal Tag 2025. So this is a series of questions. This originally started with Scott the Rock Scout, who posed 20 odd questions about your collection and taste in music and so on. Over the last year or so, Heavy Metallurgy has taken it over and provided, so Alan and Marty have provided questions instead of Scott. So yeah, I've done it the last couple of years, I think, so why not do it again? It's always a good bit of fun. So anyway, so there's 20 questions. I'll bung them up down the bottom so you can read them out. They'll be in the description as well. Just 20 random questions about your collection. So yeah, let's get into it, I think. All right, question 1 is hype. Name a release you're eagerly anticipating in 2025. Now, I'm going to answer this the same way I answered the 2024 version of this and say the new Funebrarum album. That was actually supposed to come out in 2024 at some point, according to their Facebook, and it hasn't yet. So I'm still very eager for that one to come out. I'll also mention the new Frenolith, which is definitely coming out because I've pre-ordered a copy. It should be out in February, I think, so good bit of Danish death metal. So yeah, unsurprisingly, the ones I'm anticipating are death metal. But anyway. The next one is question 2 is show the 25th item, LP, CD, or your choice, in your collection. So I went on Discogs and scrolled down and counted until I found the 25th, which was this. This is Abhorrent with The Horror. This is an old Queensland death metal band, sort of death thrash. I had not listened to this for a good 20 years at least. This came out in the, late 90s, I think. I actually also have their demo as well, or one of their demos, called Dwarves, Lepers and Cross-Country Bus Drivers. Can't say I've listened to that one for a while either, so yeah, this wasn't great. It's sort of comedy death thrash, kind of not too different to like Dead Horse, but just kind of shit. They have like silly voices on there and like fake female ones. I mean, musically it's okay, but there's a reason this has been in the shed for the last at least 10 years, so anyway, that's number 2. So yeah, let's just get rid of those. Okay, question 3 is Overdue. Name an older band that you checked out for the first time in 2024 and loved. All right, this next one, I watched a number of videos of Ben Brainsmasher. He's a very good YouTuber. Highly recommend checking out his stuff. And he's got the same intro that he always uses with these weird effects on it that kind of irritates me. But at any rate, he sort of pans across a nice batch of, killer sort of underground albums and so on. And one of them is Cethereal with their Nord album. This is from 1996, I think. This is a Swedish black metal band. Friggin' killer. I don't know. For some reason missed these guys. I don't know how. Just look at that cover. Bloody icy, snowy stuff. That's pretty much what it sounds like. It's just icy tremolo guitars. It kind of sounds like a sequel to Emperors in the Nightside Eclipse, which is not a bad thing by any means. So it has a good batch of similarities, as well as your classic sort of Swedish black metal bands. So yeah, for some reason I missed these guys in the past, and I'm glad I've now finally got around to discovering them. So I don't know what their other albums are like, but this first one, friggin' killer. All right. Question 4 is Feeding the Monkey. How do you purchase most of your music? Local store, Bandcamp, specific online site, etc.? So for me, I buy a lot of stuff online. There's only really, in Canberra, there's one decent sort of music shop. Landspeed Records, that I do buy quite a bit of stuff from, as you may have noticed from my collection updates. But generally I buy stuff online. Usually actually directly from the band or the label if I can. There's a heap of labels that just cheap as. I've always ordered through Peaceful Records, mainly because I like a lot of their bands, but their postage is just very little from England to Australia. I also get stuff direct from Sacco Anoho, Dark Descent, Nuclear Winter. Plus, there's a ton of really good distros or actual record stores in Australia that if you've seen my collection updates, you'd recognise some of the names. Radical Blast, it's generally my source of wacky grind and strangeness. Total War Records, Black Sound Records, Sphere of Apparition Records, Searchers, and Repressed. They're the main ones that I go to, but there's plenty of other ones. I do buy stuff through Bandcamp. I don't buy a huge amount of digital stuff, I've got to say. Occasionally I do if that's the only form of it that is, but I use Bandcamp more just for listening to stuff, mainly because postage is generally pretty bad on that. Not sure why, but so yeah, that's my answer for that. Question 5 is Enigma. Show a heavy metal album that musically is very hard to place in a heavy metal subgenre. First thing that popped into my mind for this was Arcturus with La Masquerade Infernale. Second album, I think, because I've had this since it came out and it's still bizarre. I mean, it's sort of like avant-garde black metal, but is that really a category? I suppose it is. But yeah, there's a hell of a lot going on this album, that's for bloody sure. It's pretty uncategorizable. Weird circus music in parts and just, it's a bloody fine album, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favourites, but it's very hard to categorize. So, that's my answer for that. Okay, the next question is Eating Crow. Talk about an album you used to hate, but after years it finally clicked, and now you can't get enough. Now this one, it's kind of hard actually. I mean, I don't usually buy albums that I don't like, and so I couldn't really think of a huge amount for this, except I ended up with Gutalax, or however you pronounce their name. It's like a Czech gore grind sort of band, and you might be thinking, why the hell don't you like Czech gore grind? Because, hey, it's good stuff. I don't know, for some reason I didn't really hear much of these guys when they came out. They just seemed to be one of those, like, suddenly super popular and everyone's like, oh, they're amazing. And I listened to one song and was like, it's all right. But they're touring Australia next year. I'll put a flyer of it up. But it's not till like September or something, but I'm pretty bloody keen because, I finally got around to actually listening to some and it's pretty bloody good actually. It's somewhat comedic and I encourage you, I'll try and put a link to... I watched a bit of live footage of them recently at I don't know if it was like Hellfest or Varken or some massive festival, and there's like a portaloo just being passed over the crowd and just everyone going berserk. So they look like a lot of fun, and musically, it's much better than I expected. So I wouldn't say I hated it in the past, but I just didn't give it quite enough of a go. So good old Gutalax. All right, next question is Impulse. Show an album you blind bought in 2024. Now for this, I did blind buy a couple, but I couldn't remember the other ones, so I'm going to go with Blood-Soaked Necrovoid. I threw this in on an order. I can't remember where I got it from. This is their Expelled into the Unknown Depths of the Unfathomable album. And honestly, I bought it because of the name. How can you not want a band called Blood-Soaked Necrovoid? Plus, I don't think it was very expensive, so I was like, I'll chuck it in, why not? So, good old impulse buys. I'm trying to do a bit more because, I don't know, it kind of takes the fun out of it if you order something and then listen to it, 50 times digitally before the actual record arrives, and then it's like, oh yeah, I've heard that ages. So, I'm trying to be a bit more spontaneous, as it were, so, yeah. All right, next one is question 8, Collector Scum. Show a title that you own more than one pressing of on the same format, CD, LP, etc. Now, this one, I had to go with the masters themselves, Autopsy. So, Severed Survival, their first album. This is the original press with the wacky old school Peaceville logo. I also have, and this is the one that I had since my youth, so, early 90s or whatever when I got this. This is the repress with the nicer cover, which I reckon's way better. That cover sucks. Sorry, but this one's much better. So yeah, that's it's also friggin' ancient as well. So I also do have this on reissue for some reason. I think this has like demos or something or other. Yeah, maybe. Let me compare the track list. Well, it does have Stillborn, which isn't on the album, so maybe that's it. I do also have it on CD. This is like the one that comes with Retribution for the Dead on it as well. And I swear I've also got like a double CD that's got, a million live tracks or rehearsals, but I can't find it for the life of me. So I swear I bought it. It's in my Discogs. I should go through my email address, or emails and see if I can find it. But at any rate, unsurprisingly, Autopsy won there. I mean, I could have done Mental Funeral. I got about 3 or 4 copies of that as well for some reason. Could have done the Disembowelment album because I've got a batch of those as well. I have a feeling I might have done Disembowelment last year when there was a similar sort of question, but oh well. All right, question 9 is show off a grail, something you really wanted that you acquired in 2024. Now, there's a couple of ways I could answer this one, really. As you might have seen on my collection update from probably November, I think, I happened across went to a second-handy sort of place, happened across a batch of old Aussie presses of pretty friggin' classic metal albums. So I got Killers, and I got Summer in Time as well, but I've always loved this album cover as well. I mean, it's one of my favourite songs is Stranger in a Strange Land. It's a classic song. I mean, I finally got some Priest, and this is probably the better one out of the ones that I got. But another one that I can answer this with if I wanted, but is Crips. This is their Open the Crypt demo, 2009, which I got off Facebook from Ryan. Thanks, mate. This is not the original, though. There is like a CDR that I really wouldn't mind. So the way I'm going to answer this is with good old Acheron. This is a Aussie death metal band that turned into a Bramelin. I love these guys so much. You know, I saw them in this era. I'll put that classy flyer up again that I always show because it's so beautiful. And they were Kill Alive. Don't know, I never bought this. So this year, I think it was on Facebook, I'm pretty sure. Good mate Wayne, legend from Tassie maybe, sold me this for a pretty reasonable price. So thanks, mate. And so that's my grail that I got this year, that's for sure. All right, question 10 is a plea to the VCLT gods. What is a grail item you're on the hunt for? Now, I mean, there's always a ton of stuff I would like, and the problem with Discogs is that a lot of it is sitting there, but I don't really want to spend a couple $100. And a prime example of that is this Incubus album, Beyond the Unknown. Now, this is one of the Incubuses and they renamed themselves to Opprobrium, I believe is how you actually pronounce it. This is just like a reissue on Nuclear Blast. It comes with Serpent Temptation as well. At least it does have the proper logo of when they were called Incubus, but I really want the record of this. I've always loved that cover art. And as I said, it is there on Discogs, and it's like, $150 or something, and I'm like, I've got a CD. Do I really need that record? So it's one of those ones that I'll either buy when I'm really drunk or wait until it's actually vaguely decent price. I mean, it can't be that much of a rarity. It's on Nuclear Blast. They probably pressed bloody billions of them, but oh well. One day it might come into my collection. All right, question 11. Oh, actually, sorry. There are other answers to this as well. There's a couple of Arizmenda albums. There's I think they're from California, like black metal band. There's a couple of their albums that are pressed on LP only. Well, one of them is. One of them is their latest album, Spider's Lust in the Dungeon's Dust, which I'll put a picture of up because it's a cool cover. Yeah, this was only released on LP and only sold at like gigs or something irritating like that. I mean, I've got it digitally, but it's not the same. And it's multiple hundreds of dollars if I wanted to actually buy one. So that kind of irritates me. The other one is their Stillbirth in the Temple of Venus, which I'll put the charming cover of up because it's bloody awesome. Now, I do have a tape of this, like one of the, it's probably a second press tape. Most of my Tripsyluden, Grow, whatever record label tapes are all mostly second press, but still, I might do a video on them one day. But so, yeah, the LP of that, I missed it just when it came out, and so it's now, $200 or at least. So, and the only other one that I'll mention, and I'm praying one day to get this one, is Alchemist with their Promo 99. It's a promo they did before Organism, I think. So, I mean, I've got it digitally, but it's the one thing in that I'm missing from my Alchemist collection, which is kind of irritates me. Like I've got, Eternal Wedlock there, ancient old demo, but I don't have Promo 99. And so one day I'm kind of hoping to get that, and I mean, I'm hoping one of my Canberra mates will sell me that at some point, so who knows. All right, question 11 is Boomerang album. Show an album that no matter how many times you purge it from your collection, another copy returns to you. Now, this is a pretty freaking hard one for me to answer because I'm a hoarder. I don't I don't trade stuff away unless it's absolute dog shit. I don't sell stuff because I like keeping it. So the one that I've stupidly, for some reason, Live After Death is my answer to this. Now, this is one of my very first metal albums. Like, before I got this for, like, Christmas or my birthday or something, I remember going with my mum to Kmart and buying it from there, or, pointing out, that one. Before I had this, I only had Twisted Sister records. That was it. So this is my entryway to slightly heavier metal at any rate, the Twisted Sister. So it was the Aussie Press and so on. I have no idea why I traded it. It was in high school or college or somewhere, when I was young and quite stupid, obviously. I can't even remember what I traded it for. I'm feeling it was like a Maiden poster or two, but anyway. I don't really have to talk about this album. It's legendary. It's actually my favourite. This is my go-to if I want to listen to Iron Maiden, because the live versions are just punchier, much more fun. So yeah, the only problem with this, it doesn't have like Summer in Time songs on it, but oh well. So somehow I found another Aussie press of this, perfect nick, 2 LP versions. You get the, even with all the bollocks inside, all the tour dates that show Australia when I didn't go and see it. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, I could have also answered this with Pleasure to Kill. I think for some reason, I think I lost my copy of Pleasure to Kill and then found another Aussie one for dirt cheap. So I was like, score. All right, let me just take a quick breather for refreshment. All right. Question 12 is Reunion. Name an artist that you lost track of over time but reconnected in 2024. Now, this is not a band that actually put out anything new in 2024, but Demolition Hammer. Some reason, I have owned this first album, Tortured Existence, since it came out, got it new. Don't know why. I really quite like that album. It wasn't one of my all-time favourites, but it's bloody good. I never even had a tape of this album. I don't know why. Maybe none of my mates liked them. I don't know. But this is their second album, Epidemic of Violence. Just as bloody good. Probably better, actually. So, yeah, I don't know why it took me that long, but I'm glad I finally got there. Maybe I'll get Time Bomb or whatever their third album is in another 10 years or so. But, yeah, this album friggin' rules. So, yeah, that's my answer for Reunion. The next question is 13. Upstart. Name a new band whose debut album really impressed you. Debut didn't have to come out in 2024, but recently. But I'll go with the one that's fairly obvious if you've seen my last video. Stenched. It's finally arrived the day after I filmed it, of course. This one did quite well in my top 20 albums of 2024. Let's just put it that way. So I encourage you to watch that one for a bit more rambling. But yeah, this is Mexican death metal, horrible, rancid sounding stuff. So perfect, right up my alley. So yeah, very happy to finally get this one because yeah, this freaking rules. So this is they had an EP before this, but this is the first album, first of many. I'm really hoping. So yeah, awesome stuff. All right, next question is question 14. It's influencer. Show a band/release that you bought in 2024 as a direct result of watching someone's YouTube channel. Now, for this, I'm going to give Metal Miners a shout-out. Anthony and his son, whose name I can never remember, Cody, maybe. Anthony does most of the videos, and yeah, they're great fun. So he rambled on pretty heftily, selling septic fumes with their promo 2023. So yeah, this is, pretty sure they're American. Just show it off a bit. Yeah, just horrible death metal. Sort of slightly death grindy almost. Pretty tape. So, yeah, he talked it up enough that I was like, I need that one. So, thanks, Anthony. Love your work. And I highly encourage everyone to check out his channel. It's great stuff. All right, next one. Next one's a fun one, I think. Question 15 is, don't judge a book by its cover. Show a great album with bad cover art. There's many a thing that popped to mind for this one. Originally, I had actually, I could pick one of many albums that have, a horrible corpse on it. I have ample bloody gore grind and horrible stuff with corpses all over it that, yeah, nah. First thing that popped into my head, and I don't actually own it, is St. Vitus with Heavier Than Thou, which is like, I'll put a picture of it up. It's just pink. It's like, what are you guys doing? You're a doom metal band. What the hell? Speaking of doom metal, another one that popped into my head, but this won't be my final answer, is the Solitude Eternus album, Into the Depths of Sorrow. And it's got this like dreary teenagers sitting there. I mean, it's kind of a nicely drawn cover, but just, I don't know, just the concept of, ooh, if you're a mopey teenager, you might like this. And I mean, it's a pretty freaking depressing bloody album, but I don't know, it's a great album, but the cover art just doesn't win it for me. Another one that automatically came into mind and always does, Necrophobic's first album, what the hell's it called? The Nocturnal Silence. Killer Swedish death metal album. Bloody awesome, but that cover is... nah. Another one that I've never really cared for. I've had this forever. You know, great album, but I don't know. I mean, it's a horrible, scary, beastie sort of thing, but it just offends me for some reason. I don't know. It's a great album, but yeah, no. And I can never not show this horrid piece of crap cover art of Addictive Pity of Man. This is a Aussie thrash band from, I don't know, when's this from? 1989, there you go. Pretty bloody good album. I wouldn't say killer album, but cover art's so bad. I just love showing that off. So my actual answer for this, and this is definitely a killer album, is Fudge Tunnel, Complicated Futility of Ignorance, with a guy with all, like, I don't know, depressing stuff on his head. You know, it's just, and it's on the back with all the song titles as well. It's just, I don't know, looks like some new metal album or something. I mean, you know, these guys are sludge metal. It's a killer bloody album. It's not my favourite of theirs, but still a bloody good album. But that cover art, I've never been able to take that serious. I'm fairly certain I saw a shirt for that of sale once and just went, oh, I like Fudge Tunnel, but I'm not wearing that picture. So, yeah. Anyway, that's number 15. All right, number 16 is Rembrandt, show an album whose cover art was created by one of your favourite artists. Now, this one, immediately I thought of this. I just went, yeah, that's it. Simon Bisley. The album that I picked is Mortal Sins, Mayhemic Destruction, with the good album cover. There's like, this is not the original one, or not the Australian press version. This is a Euro one, I think. The Australian press one, I'll put a picture of it. It's laughable. That's terrible cover. This one is friggin' awesome. Look at that. So yeah, Simon Bisley's mostly a comic artist. As far as album covers go, he's done, well, this one obviously, Annihilated. He did a batch of Danzig covers that I'll put some pictures of up, which pretty freaking killer. I always love that Thrall Demon Sweat one. He did a Gore one not that long ago, and for some reason did this Slayer poster, which... it's pretty cool if you ask me. I don't know why he did it. I guess he just took a commission from Slayer to make a cool poster. Not actually sure if that was just a poster or if it was used somewhere else. I've no idea, but it's kind of cool. Obviously, he's quite familiar with good old Frank Frazetta and also Boris Vallejo and a batch of other pretty killer artists. It's always ridiculously muscular and over-the-top artists. But yeah, where I was really sold by him was... his work back for 2000 AD. It's an old comic. I think it's still going. It's one with Judge Dredd in it. He didn't do much of Dredd. He did actually do a Batman versus Dredd sort of graphic novel that was friggin' killer, bloody awesome. But yeah, I was really sold by his work on the ABC Warriors. I think that was the first one that he did. I'll put some pictures of up because they're just super dramatic. Looks so good. But really, his masterwork for 2000 AD was Slain or Slawn, I believe it's supposed to be pronounced. Yeah, fully painted, just beautiful stuff. Yeah, just stunning cover art, or, you know, just art all the way through it. I don't know if they changed paper stock then or went full color just for Slawn, but after that he also helped. I don't know if he really created Lobo, but I think he updated Lobo pretty dramatically. So he didn't do that many of those. I think he was possibly not the easiest guy to work with at times. So he's a bit of a hellraiser, I think. He also did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series for a while as well. But after that, he worked with Danzig again on his Verotica comics. So he did a batch of, I think he did full, maybe, I don't think he just did covers. I think he did full, you know, whole comic as well. So superb artist. I don't see his work enough around, but yeah, really loved it. And so I'm very happy that, I mean, this album is freaking awesome. And very happy that I've got the cool cover done by Bisley, so love it. All right. Question 17 is name an album that you would like to see reissued on vinyl or CD. So for this, I'm going with Immolation and Unholy Cult. Obviously, I've got it on CD. This is the Olympic Recordings one, which appears to have been a Century Media sort of sub-label. It was also put out on Listenable, and Listenable seem to have been repressing all the, the Close to World Below and various other ones. So I don't know why this is not out. I think there was issued a couple of years after this came out on like Picture Disc, which, no. So, and they're super expensive anyway. Plus, A, it's my favourite Immolation album, and B, that cover art is so killer when you look at it up close. So I really would like that on record. So I know, as I said, I've got the CD. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, amazing bloody album. So that's my answer for that. But the other ones that I'll mention is these two charming Regurgitate ones. That this one I think was released originally on vinyl at the time, but it's now super expensive, and for some reason Relapse haven't put it out again. And this one, this was only ever released, I believe, on Picture Disc by Morbid Records for some weird reason. So again, Relapse, what are you doing? You'd sell tons of those. Anyway, all right. Damn, this is the one I forgot to get out. Question 18 is name an album from a genre that you typically do not listen to very much. For this, I'm going to go with The Cure. Now, I don't actually own the new Cure album. I've listened to it once or twice, sounded all right, but their album Pornography, which I think is about their fourth or so album by then, so it's sort of early to mid-'80s. I don't know, as a youth, I hated goth music with a passion, but I think it was more because I hadn't actually listened to it. I think it was just because it was something to hate, and it didn't go with metal. So I was very happy when I finally found it. I think I noticed it once. Some of the dudes from Portal talking about Faith, I think one of their earlier albums. And I was like, if those guys like that, maybe I should check it out. And checked it out and was like, oh, okay. That's where Catatonia have been stealing all their stuff from, them and Paradise Lost. So, yeah, as soon as I realised that, it's like, bye. So, I mean, they're only bodgy reissues. I think I've got a pretty old version of 17 Seconds or something, but yeah, they have a lot of albums, The Cure, and I have very few of them, really. I like the depressing, suicidally kind of ones. I like Pornography and Disintegration, and yeah, I think I've got Blood Flowers as well somewhere. So I think the new one's in that form. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to it when I listened to it recently, but I'll give it another go. But yeah, that's my genre I don't really listen to very much. I mean, my tastes are expanding. I've downloaded a few Bauhaus albums and Sisters of Mercy and that, and yeah, it's pretty good actually. Damn it. Okay. Question 19 is what band do you hope to see live in 2025? Now, I've answered this in two ways. My wish list of stuff that I really would love to see that I'm really not super holding my breath is Demolish, Finnish Gods. I don't know if they're even playing much these days, but there were hints of them doing another album as well, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see. And I did miss them out. I was supposed to go over to a California Death Fest and follow them around for a few side gigs that they were playing, and my stupid boss didn't let me, so that was very irritating. Another one is Ecclese, the band that actually just came in my top 20 albums. Yeah, they are playing live. I just saw some cool-ass photos. What was his name? Stefan something or other. I'll put them up because it was shots of them live with these masks on that look freaking awesome. The one international band that I'm kind of hoping we might actually get is somewhat related to these guys. I've noticed at a few festivals, Triptychon are playing a Celtic Frost set. Now, I mean, I did see Celtic Frost in 2006 or whenever the hell it was, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them again. I love that. And I mean, this Hellhammer gig is so much fun, and I don't even like the songs anywhere near as much as Celtic Frost, so that would be really good fun. So I'm quietly hopeful that might make its way to Australia. Hopefully this tour did all right for them. Now, the more likely bands that I could actually see in Australia. Ghost Smoker is an excellent doom sludgy sort of band from Melbourne. I think they got a new album coming out shortly, and yeah, I'm kind of hoping I might get to see them at some point. Grotesque Bliss is a death doom band from Queensland that made it into my Aussie top 15 this year, and loved them. So they are playing up in Brisbane. Did I buy a ticket? I can't remember if I did or not. Oh, I should buy a ticket. They're playing in Brisbane in April with Portal, so I'm kind of hoping to go up to that. And Bloodduster, they're back. They're alive again. They're playing a festival in, well, I mean, they're playing Obscene Extreme in Europe, but I'm not going to Europe just to see Bloodduster. They're playing a festival in Australia in Alice Springs, or near Alice Springs, called Blackened, which, yeah, is sort of tempting, but I don't know. I'm too old and lazy and fat to go to big ass festivals where I think you have to camp outside as well. So I'm like, yeah, no. I'm not sure if that'll happen. So I'm kind of hoping Bloodduster do some other shows. I don't know if they're just doing it for the sake of it, but who knows. All right, so question 20 is, in closing, tell your viewers about 2 new-to-you YouTube channels you discovered in 2024, or just shout out 2 channels you enjoy. Now, I don't know if I started these ones in 2024, but I've started paying more attention to them then. First one I'll pick out is Radio Free Innsmouth, and I'll put links to these down the bottom. Now, Radio Free Innsmouth do kind of deep dives into bands usually. Occasionally they do like record labels or something, but it's mostly just bands or a certain style. A lot of them are black metal-y sort of ones, but there's a good range of, pretty extreme metal sort of stuff, and his critiques and the wording of it are really quite interesting. Pretty deep. The guy obviously knows music a shitload better than I do. But one of the other things I love is he uses like little K-pop bits, and also pictures of hot babes from Twice, who is the K-pop band that I quite enjoy for several reasons. So yeah, he's just got these, gives them black metal makeup or just holding a sword or something. So it's kind of hilarious, but they are actually really good sort of deep dives into the pretty interesting bands. So I really enjoy his stuff. I think I've been following him a couple of years, but man, what the hell. I've started going back through those. And the other one I'll give a shout out to is an Aussie guy, Mattox Deep Shadows. Hilarious bloke to watch. I think he's from Victoria, maybe Melbourne somewhere. I don't know. I thought it was Tassie at first, but I'm pretty sure it's Victoria somewhere. He predominantly does stuff about black metal, which isn't really my main focus, but his delivery is just gold. Every second word is a swear word. It's hilarious to watch with subtitles, because whenever there's a swear word, it just puts like brackets and dashes. So his stuff is just 3 words, brackets, 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 3 words, brackets. But yeah, he's got a cool take on it as well, and it's just hilarious to watch. It's so much fun. Bogan black metal king, that's for sure. And I mean, he knows what he's talking about as well. So yeah, as I said, links to both of them in the description below. So yeah, that's my 20 questions for Metal Tag 2025. Thanks to Alan and Marty for coming up with those. It's been fun. So, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.